There's one book. All of you that know me or have been watching me know I've read so many books, probably hundreds of them. And when I think back to this one book, this is probably one book. I've read books before this book now, let's preface that. But this book really, for me, was the game-changing book that, number one, led me to my mastermind group and some of the most incredible women that I know. And number two, I have noticed that everything is based off of this book that's in business and growth. And I find that to be fascinating. It was written in the early 1900s, and I don't know if anybody you know what this book is. If you do, I would love if you want to put in the comment that I know what the book is. It really completely helped me change the way I look at things and the way I show up and the way I do business. It's called The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. It is the kind of the heavier weight version. Think and Grow Rich is basically the light version of this book. This is it. It's crazy, guys. This is like a normal book, and that's still even pretty thick. To give you, like, that's how big it is and the difference. It's pretty meaty. People in my mastermind, I'm not wanting to say her name because I don't know if she wants to be divulged on this video, but she put an ad out in our mastermind, our Facebook group with coaching, and said, hey, I want to do this book club. This is like a few years ago. And all she had was like a screenshot of the front. So I had no idea how big this book was, first of all. I'm like, sure, I'll do it. All these people said, yeah, it'll be on Saturday morning. I get the book. I'm in shock about how big it is because I didn't realize how big it was. And even my husband was like, what did you just sign up for? And I was like, I don't know. It's like, his work's coming off of COVID. It was right in 2020, 2021. And I was like, it can't be that bad. So it's pretty tough read. I'm not going to lie. So if you get this book, it's a tough read because it's written from early 1900. So it's not like today's books, okay? So first of all, don't expect it to be like an easy breezy read. It is not. So we decided to take it per week, one chapter per week. I have read it now 3 times. And what I think is so important is that the lessons from here, there are 15 laws of success, and I have my little notes here because it's so intense, is that every book, I can pretty much pinpoint every book to say like, oh, they got it from Laws of Success. And that's why I keep telling everybody, if you have not read this, read it. If you have, then you know. If you know, you know. That little saying, hashtag, if you know, you know. The lesson 1 is a definite chief aim. You have to get crystal clear on what you want. And I think that's like every single person. Tony Robbins says it. Tom Ferry says it. Every book I've read said it, is that you have to know the outcome. What is it that you want? What are you trying to achieve? Where's the destination that we're going to, right? If you don't have that, you can't make the map. You can't make the road path to get there. So figure that out first. So the first chapter really focuses on that definite chief aim and getting laser focused. Gosh, they knew that back in the early 1900s. Surprise, surprise. And then the truth is that you can't wander around and go in the general direction. You really have to know what you want exactly, or you're not going to get it. You're not going to be able to focus on what you want. And that's a big mindset shift. You have to get crystal clear and know specifically, because there's a saying that the universe punishes the vague but rewards the specific. Like if you can ask specifically for something, then you'll probably more likely get it and hit the target, okay? Take 10 minutes. That's your action item. Take 10 minutes today to figure out what it is. That's the kind of the first thing that we discuss in coaching calls are, what's your outcome? What are we working towards here? What exactly looks like the perfect situation for you so we can at least get a vision about what we need to work towards. The second thing would be the power of a mastermind. Again, these incredible women. I don't know if I could have gotten where I am right now without them, because it kind of leveled me up. And anybody that's in a mastermind would probably agree with me. And they challenge you. You can be vulnerable. You can be open. You can be honest and raw. If your mastermind doesn't do that for you, then I would say get another one. If they don't push you, or if you're the smartest person in there, get the hell out of there. Because every single person needs to bring something to the table and to challenge you and be able to reflect the mirror on you so that you can grow. That's the point of the mastermind. I think surrounding yourself with the right people makes the biggest difference. That's why I did make the move myself for my brokerage as well, is that I love that Jim Rohn quote, you are made up of the 5 people you surround yourself. And this mastermind group is a really big factor for me. That's where that 5 Realty name comes from. And that's what really really drew me to them to begin with. It's not about what you know, really. It's about who you know, who you connect with, and how do you grow with those people, and understanding it's okay to move on and grow with other people if you need that too. So don't be afraid to make moves or make your circles bigger or go into different rooms. And don't be afraid to be the smallest person in the room. It's actually the best thing to do. I would actually highly recommend it. Shoot me a message if you're having a hard time finding that community. I'm pretty sure it's probably there. You just are not opening your eyes up or being open enough to wanting to learn to be in that environment is what I would challenge you on. Applied faith would be another one. But, definitely you have to believe that you're the best. You have to believe you can do this. This is the third lesson. Success is definitely built on belief before results. It's kind of the concept I said at the law of assumption in the video I did before, is you have to know that you are the best. You have to know that you can do this. You have to know you're already there in that moment, because otherwise your mind can't wrap around getting this stuff done. You'll always second guess yourself. You'll always say, I'm not good enough. You have to say, I'm going to do it and get done before the proof comes. I think this book also helped me with that and understanding how that's possible. There's a law of imagination, which blew my mind. And I think people do want evidence. And that's what I found. Everyone's like, well, can you tell me? Are you sure? Can you give me proof? Those are kind of the things I hear about when people are wondering if they should buy a marketing tool, if they should do this or that, and why did it work for this person and not for that person? And I think every person's unique and every situation's unique, every market's unique if you're in real estate, and just because it works for someone doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. But if you determine to make it work and you focus on that, surprise, surprise, it's probably going to work. So I think it depends on how you look at things. And that's so, so, so important. That's what that would come from. So act like the successful version you are today versus waiting for the successful version you think you're going to be. Be that person today, and you may be surprised how that shows up. So that's like a really, really big factor that I learned from reading this book. That's self-discipline. I know I'm a disciplined person. I think that's something Michael says, that I'm a very disciplined person, but I think for me now, what I figured out, I'm disciplined in the things that actually matter. And disciplined about the things that matter. Again, being disciplined in things that don't matter or don't really move the needle forward, or is the getting ready to get ready, the checking of the box, just because it makes you feel good. So really ask your question in your mindset, are you really disciplined in the things that you need to be disciplined in? Going the extra mile, I love this one, is the fifth one. There is a law of getting in the habit of doing more than you're paid for. I don't know if you've seen anybody that does that shows up and just goes the extra mile. You've seen it at restaurants and retail and hotels, and you're like, wow, that person just sets themselves apart. It's not about spending more money or giving discounts. It's about showing up and doing more and getting in that habit, and people seeing it. You're outstanding. You're a standout, not just okay or great. And that just sets you apart in anything you do in life. If you can be a standout, then you will always be the number one pick. And then you don't even have to worry. You don't have to chase anything because it comes to you because you've been in the habit of doing more than you paid for. That was a really big eye-opener for me. And I think it was great because it helps me with my kids, because sometimes in that age range of teenagehood, it's really hard to coach your children to do more than they're being paid. They're always like just trying to do the bare minimum is what I feel like. What can I do to not get in trouble, right? So those are kind of some of the biggest things I would say that takeaway, but this book is so incredible that I probably could open up now 4 times around and probably still get huge takeaways every single time. So I challenge you, read that book. I want to hear from you if you've read it. I'm just curious and what your thoughts are. If you've also found and what your takeaways are, I'm just curious. And also feel free to reach out to me. My email's in my profile. If you would like to have a personal call with me or a consult, I'd love to chat with you about life and empowering yourself and making some space to do some personal coaching. And if you're interested, shoot me a DM. Till next time.